Welcome to our presentation on nematodes, presented by Dr. Indu Yadav, a PhD scholar from the Division of Parasitology at Ivory. Nematodes belong to the phylum Nemathelminths, with various orders including Ascaridida, Rhabditida, Strongyloida, Spirurida, and Enoplida, each having distinct life cycles and hosts. Ascaridida includes Ascaris suum, the largest roundworm of poultry, known for causing milk spots in the liver and piglet anemia. The infective stage is the egg with L2 larvae. Arrow-headed worms like Toxocara canis and Toxocara chatu can cause various health issues in unnatural hosts, including visceral and ocular larva migrants. Parascaris equorum, a large intestinal roundworm of horses, and Oxyurus equa, known for causing anal pruritus in horses, are significant equine parasites. Ascarids of poultry, such as Ascaridia galli and Heterococcus gallinarum, can cause severe diseases like blackhead disease in turkeys. Rhabditida includes Strongyloides papillosus, a threadworm of ruminants, known for its unique life cycle involving both free-living and parasitic forms. The order Strongyloida includes various genera like Strongylus, Shibertia, and Hemonchus, each affecting different hosts and causing various diseases. Strongylus vulgaris, known for its ear-shaped teeth, can cause verminous aneurysm, while other species like S. equinus and S. edentatus have distinct dental features. Nodular worms like Oesophagostomium columbianum cause conditions like knotty gut in sheep and goats, while O. radiatum affects cattle. Stephanurus dentatus, the kidney worm of pigs, and Syngamus trachea, the gapeworm of poultry, use various transport hosts like earthworms and snails. Hookworms like Ancylostoma caninum can cause significant blood loss in hosts, with various transmission routes including prenatal and skin penetration. Trichostrongylus axi, known as the black scour worm, and Hemonchus contortus, a stomach worm of cattle, are significant parasites in livestock. Ostertagia ostertagi, the brown stomach worm, is highly pathogenic in cattle, with distinct life cycle stages and seasonal rise in infection rates. The self-cure phenomenon in Hemonchus contortus involves a hypersensitivity reaction, while larval hypobiosis is seen in various genera like Hemonchus and Ostertagia. Lungworms like Dictyoculus filaria and Dictyoculus viviparus cause respiratory issues in sheep and cattle, with larvae present in feces and nasal discharge. Protostrongylus rufescens, the red lungworm of sheep, and Metastrongylus elongatus in pigs, use intermediate hosts like snails and earthworms. Spirurida includes various parasites like Habernema muscae and the Lasia rhodige, affecting different hosts and causing conditions like summer sores and eye infections. Filarids, such as Microfilaria, have a complex structure with distinct cells and pores, playing a crucial role in their life cycle. The family Filariidae includes Dirofilaria immitis, the heartworm of dogs, which can cause severe cardiovascular issues in various hosts including humans. Parafilaria bovicola causes hemorrhagic dermatitis, commonly known as summer bleeding, in draft animals like bullocks. Cetariidae family includes Ceteria digitata and Ceteria labutopapillosa in cattle, Ceteria equina in horses, and Ceteria cervi in deer. These parasites are commonly known as intraocular eyeworms and are found in the peritoneal cavity, with mosquitoes serving as intermediate hosts. Pathogenesis includes non-pathogenic fibrinous peritonitis in adults, eosinophilic granulomatous lesions in the urinary bladder, and erratic movement of adult worms. In the CNS, it affects sheep, goats, and horses, causing conditions like Kumri, enzootic cerebrospinal nematodiasis, lumbar paralysis, and acute focal encephalomyelomalacia. Dipetalinema reconditum, found in the USA, affects dogs and resides in the kidney, connective tissue, and body cavity. Fleas like C. canis and other species serve as intermediate hosts. Dipetalinema dracunculoides, found in India, also affects dogs and resides in the peritoneal membrane, with mosquitoes as intermediate hosts. Onchocercidae family consists of elongated worms that live in connective tissues, producing nodules known as worm nests. Microfilaria are found in the skin and connective tissue spaces. Males measure 3 to 5 centimeters, while females are 14 to 19 centimeters long. Onchocerca gibsoni affects cattle. Onchocerca gutturosa affects cattle and buffalo. Onchocerca cervicalis affects horses, and Onchocerca volvulus affects both horses and humans. Onchocerca gibsoni in cattle forms nodules in the brisket and hind limb, known as worm nests, which are coiled up and surrounded by a fibrous tissue capsule. These nodules can be up to 5 centimeters in diameter and may degenerate and calcify over time. Onchocerca gutturosa affects cattle and buffalo, residing in the ligamentum nuchae, scapular cartilage, hip, stifle, and shoulder regions. Simalium spp. Serve as intermediate hosts. Onchocerca cervicalis affects the ligamentum nuchae of horses, causing conditions like pole evil and fistulous withers. Culicoid spp. Serve as intermediate hosts. Onchocerca volvulus causes ocular onchocerciasis and river blindness in both horses and humans. Simalium spp. Serve as intermediate hosts. The Dracunculidae family, symbolized by the caduceus, represents the serpent-like appearance of these parasites. Dracunculus medinensis, also known as the guinea worm, medina worm, serpent worm, or dragon worm, affects humans, dogs, cattle, and horses. It resides in subcutaneous connective tissue and is one of the oldest known nematode parasites in India and Pakistan. Staphylococcus samensis causes hump sore or summer sore, a chronic dermatitis in cattle. Flies like Stomoxys calcitrans serve as intermediate hosts. The condition leads to verminous dermatitis, small papules that coalesce into crusts and ulcerations, and symptoms like acanthosis, hyperkeratosis, and alopecia. S. samensis causes skin lesions in both adult and microfilaria stages. Diagnosis involves deep skin scraping to remove crusts and identify microfilaria. Treatment options include trichlorphin with 4% sulfanilamide, levamisole, and benzimidazole. The order Anaplida is characterized by a reduced muscular portion of the esophagus and esophageal glands arranged in a single row. Males have one or no spicule. This order includes families like Trichinellidae, Trichuridae, Capillariidae, and Dioctophimidae. Trichinella spiralis, from the family Trichinellidae, affects a wide range of hosts including humans, pigs, rats, dogs, cats, and birds. It resides in the small intestine as adults and in muscle fibers as larvae. Commonly known as the garbage worm or trichina worm, it causes trichinelosis or raw pork disease in humans. The pathogenesis of Trichinella spiralis involves the L1 larvae entering voluntary muscles like the eye, tongue, larynx, masticatory, and intercostal muscles. The liver, kidney, and pancreas are also affected. Muscle fibers encapsulate the larvae, forming nurse cells that can calcify over several years. The epidemiology of Trichinella spiralis includes a sylvatic cycle involving wild boars and jackals, and a synanthropic zoonotic cycle where wild animals transmit the parasite to domestic animals. Diagnosis of Trichinella spiralis involves biopsy and larvae examination between slides, using techniques like the trichinoscope, CFT, HA, ELISA, and the bentonite flocculation technique. Radioimmunoassays are used for mass screening in pigs. Trichuris ovis, from the family Trichuridae, affects goats, sheep, and cattle, residing in the cecum and colon. It is commonly known as the whipworm. Let's begin by exploring the fascinating morphology of these organisms. Here, we see the distinct shapes and structures that define them. The Capillaridae family, related to Trichuris spp, includes small and slender worms. Males range from 1 to 2 centimeters, while females are 2 to 4 centimeters. They primarily inhabit poultry, affecting the intestines, crop, and esophagus, and can also be found in mammals like cattle. Dioctophyma renali, from the Dioctophimidae family, primarily infects dogs, foxes, otters, and other wild carnivores. Occasionally, it can infect pigs, horses, cattle, and humans. It is known as the largest nematode and commonly referred to as the kidney worm of dogs. Pathogenesis involves the right kidney, leading to calcification of the parenchyma, chronic peritonitis, and can affect the liver, pleural cavity, ureter, and bladder. Clinical signs include compensatory work of the other kidney, retention of urine, pyuria, hematuria, and renal colic. Diagnosis is confirmed by finding eggs in the urine, and treatment involves surgical removal of the worms. The phylum Acanthocephala, commonly known as thorny-headed worms, is characterized by a hollow proboscis, absence of an alimentary canal, and a pair of hollow organs around the proboscis called limnaci for attachment. They have saprophytic nutrition. Macrocantharynchus hirudinaceus infects domestic pigs and wild boars, residing in the small intestine. Males are about 10 centimeters, while females can reach 35 centimeters. They have a transversely wrinkled cuticle and a small proboscis. The life cycle of these parasites involves several stages, starting with eggs ingested by beetle intermediates, leading to infection in definitive hosts like pigs, and finally residing in the small intestine of the adult host. Pathogenesis includes inflammation, granuloma, peritonitis, and can be fatal. Diagnosis is through eggs, and treatment options include CCL4 and ivermectin. Thank you for your attention.